saw tonight with NXT in general. What brought you here? Did anybody call you? Like, I got an invite from Shawn Michaels. Did anybody call you, or are you just Eric Bischoff and you can do whatever the hell you want to do?
I wish it was that, right? I'd be here more often. No, I had to wait for an invitation like everybody else, and I was talking to Jeremy Borash and talking about everything that's going on down here, and really dig the whole NXT concept. I was so excited about getting the invitation to come down and to work on not only NXT and be a part of that excitement, but also an AD project. And, it just all came together in a matter of a couple conversations.
So we saw you standing out there tonight with Ridge and with Trick, the NXT champion. You wrote a book years ago called Controversy Creates Cash, and whenever you're involved, there's a bit of controversy. You might have put Trick Williams in a spot tonight where he may not make it to Minneapolis. He might not make it to Deadline. If you were responsible for that, how would you feel? And I think as of right now, there is a little bit of controversy surrounding your name when it comes to NXT.
Well, there should be. I mean, look, NXT is where superstars come to learn how to be the ultimate superstars in either Raw or SmackDown. And that means learning how to deal with pressure and learning how to perform in pressure situations. I like to think of it this way, Bully. I like to think that I did them both a favor tonight by putting them under the kind of pressure that teaches them how to control themselves. Tonight, they learned the hard way. Got to learn to control yourself. Now, Ridge needs to learn how to control his anger. He was really the instigator. He was the one that caused most of the damage there. But Trick also has to learn how to deal with that. So I take credit for helping them advance their careers despite the seriousness of the outcome.
When you sit back and you look at talents like Ridge Holland and Trick Williams, you obviously being the head guy at WCW, the head honcho, when you see talents like this, tell me the first things that pop into your mind.
Well, with Trick, honestly, I mean, just physically, of course, I saw him on television, familiar with him, but when you stand next to the guy, he is deceptively large.
He really is.
He's got long legs, long arms. He's a big man. He's a much bigger guy than you think he is.
He's taller than me. He's probably 6'4", 6'5".
And Ridge, on the other hand, I talked to him for just a little bit, and, tough dude, 12 years, professional rugby player, I think he said.
He was.
And, I love, Australian rules football, rugby. I love watching it. It is an amazingly tough sport. So I look at these two guys, and they're early in their careers. They've got a bright future ahead of them, but just athletically, these guys are just phenomenal athletes.
Eric, I got to tell you, I've only been manhandled a couple of times in my career. Once was by Bam Bam Bigelow. Once was by Ron Simmons. Impressive men in our industry. About a month ago, when me and Trick were wrestling Ridge Holland and Ethan Page at the ECW arena, I locked up with Ridge, and right out of the lockup, he body slammed me. And he manhandled me.
Wow.
This guy is deceivingly strong. And I've been talking about Trick Williams on Busted Open for a long time now, saying that Trick needs that other person across from him to really bring it out of him.
To put the pressure on him.
To really put the pressure on him. And after actually feeling Ridge Holland physically in the ring, I think that guy might be Ridge Holland. From the little bit that you know about Ridge Holland, could you see him being the NXT World Champion?
Absolutely. Wow. He's got the physical makeup. He's got the mental attitude. And again, 12 years playing rugby, he's mentally tough enough. There's no question about that. And nobody knows better than you. You've got to be mentally tough as well as physically prepared, and I think he is.
So you came down here to NXT today. I know you saw the entire facility. As the head guy at WCW, you had the power plant. You had the training facility. You were able to cultivate the stars of tomorrow. That's where Goldberg came from. You toured the facility here in Orlando, Florida. Tell me what you think about this whole NXT operation.
This, I go back to the mid-'90s, late '90s, when we were really using the power plant. This would be like...
Set up my Thanksgiving table with me. I always start with the cheesecloth table runner, and this one is so elegant. Candle...
Fantasy back then. To have not only your training facility, which is an extensive training facility. I think there was 4 rings in there, and they were all full with amazing talent. You've got the production facility. It's all under one roof. That is really it would have been a fantasy back in the 90s, and here it is. Whether you're working as a talent, you're trying to learn how to do promos, whether you're learning how to do in-rings or backstage promos, it's all right here. You can get the repetitions in without having to be out on the road, and then have the ability to go out there and perform in front of a live audience, again, without having to travel, is an amazing opportunity for young talent to get the reps they need to develop that talent, because, as you know, it's all about experience.
Correct. Now let's get to the juicy stuff.
Yeah. Who we gonna bury?
I know why I'm so opinionated. I know why I hold people's feet to the fire. I know why I give constructive criticism. Why do you feel the need to do it on a weekly basis?
Because I still have passion for the industry. It still matters to me. I'm not in it any longer, but I'm still. I feel strongly about the success and the growth of the industry.
I don't mean to cut you off, but are you bitter?
No, I'm the happiest son of a bitch on the planet.
And I can tell you that I have never seen you, heard you, or be the least a bit bitter. These people that say, "Oh, Eric's bitter. Eric's mad. Eric's this." No, you're not. That can be the farthest thing from the truth. You're very happy with where you are in your life right now.
Well, and I should be. I mean, I'm blessed. I have a wonderful family. I've got a hot wife, former playmate. We've been married for over 40 years and have a wonderful life together. I live in a beautiful part of the country that people from all over the world come to visit. I love my life, and I'm grateful for everything that I have and for everything that I did in the past. I'm grateful for my time in professional wrestling and what it provided to me and my family. Bitter? I'm the opposite of that, brother.
Like I said, you don't come across that way to me. Is there any part of you that wants back into the wrestling business in any way, shape, or form? If you had the magic wand, and you could say, "I want to be involved with something in a wrestling company," what would that position be?
It really would be working with talent. I loved the process of taking somebody that was having a hard time doing backstage promos or in rings and teaching them how, number one, just get comfortable. It's just a matter of not overcoming the nerves, and teaching them how to communicate in an in-ring or backstage and get the most of. I love directing talent. I love producing talent. I do miss that. I miss the collaboration creatively. I love sitting. You and I used to do it in TNA. I love sitting around a table and have somebody raise their hand and say, "What if we do this?" Well, that's interesting. But what if we did that and then add this to that? And all of a sudden, you're building something right before your eyes. And that energy, when you got the right people in a room, if you're not with the right people, it can be kind of a drain. But you got the right chemistry. Collaboration creatively is one of the most fun experiences I've had in professional wrestling.
Is there anything down here at NXT that you see them doing that you would do differently, or would like if you were able to be involved with talent, just like you said, helping produce them, help them with promos? Is that a position that you'd like to be involved in?
Realistically, no. I mean, it's something that I wished I could in a way, but I love where I live, and I don't love to travel, so that kind of makes it a little tough, right? But if there was anything at all that I would be really passionate about doing, it would be working with talent. But like I said, I'm happy where I'm at, man.
We will see what happens in Minneapolis between Trick Williams and Ridge Holland. We'll see if Trick can hold on to the championship. And if he loses to Ridge Holland, I think you're going to be responsible for it.
Well, in that case, I probably won't be back in a while.
Eric, I've told you this many times, but I don't think I've ever had you sitting this close to me, so I could tell you face-to-face, man-to-man, eye-to-eye. Thank you for the opportunities that you gave me. I really, really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate working with you. I learned a lot about you, and we developed a really good friendship in the process. And, you know, I don't think anybody would have expected that you and I would get along as well as we did, because we got along like right off the bat.
There are two people I was told I would never get along with in wrestling: Billy Gunn and you. And the first day I met Billy Gunn, I became friends with him. And the first day I met you, I became friends with you. And we went and did a shot of Patron
That's
Silver at the Philadelphia Airport Marriott.
I'll never forget it.
Yep. So thank you very much. I
It's the start of
appreciate
something great. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.